Hello. Showing off Hall Pass Hero, very early version. We're like version, what is it? Version 0.0.32. But it's in a good place. So let's start the program. So this is Hall Pass Hero. I've been working on this for about a week and a half, going on 2 weeks, I think. And it's a CLI tool for instructors and teachers to track their students' progress, performance, and behavior. Um, I'm sorry, and attendance. I don't think I mentioned that. And so far, I've been working on just getting it all set up first before I even add that other functionality in. So this is the main menu. You can create a new roster. When you see the word roster in this program, that's essentially a class or classroom. I didn't use the word class. I might use classroom, but class, I didn't do that because there's like a data type called a class in programming languages, and I didn't want to confuse myself or other people, other developers. Um, so I decided to call it roster. Maybe classroom. I might use classroom. I don't know. But a roster or a classroom is like a collection of students. One classroom might have 5 students, while a college classroom might have 100 or whatever, or roster, right? So you can create new ones. Okay, create a new roster. We're gonna go ahead and create a new one. It gives you a couple of things here to note. It can't be any more than 30 characters and no less than 1. You can cancel the operation anytime by typing out the word cancel. A lot of the operations in this program work like that. I want this to be as easy and as easy to use as possible. For the ideal, the user is a teacher or an instructor. They already have a lot of things to worry about. I don't want, I don't want them to have to worry about the stupid software being dumb and like it's hard to do anything. So there are more added steps, but I think people would like that. We'll see what it's like in testing for some people. So let's go ahead and name it. We're gonna name this. What is it? It's November 2023 French class. I think that's just short enough. Okay, we can confirm that. So now we have a classroom or a roster name, November 2023 French class. We can go ahead and view all the ones that I've created thus far up here, and it shows the list of all of them. And here's my November 2023 French class. This is stored in a SQLite database. So we're going to go ahead and go main menu now. So we've created a roster of classrooms. There's nothing in there right now. I'm working towards building the student database out, and eventually I'll be able to add students from that database into classrooms, or the user will be able to add students from the database into the classroom. And then go from there and I'll continue working on it. So let's go view and manage existing rosters, which is option number 2. Confirm that that's what you want to do. If you say no, all this will do is take you to the main menu. So go ahead and click yes for this. And now you get this menu here. All these operations are functional except for add student to roster, remove student from roster, and help. None of the help menus work yet because that's probably the last thing I'll do. But again, you can view rosters. This is the same function that gets called. And it shows you the list of all the rosters that are created in the database. Back. And you can do rename a roster. There is a bug where if you could just type in anything and it'll try to rename it, but it doesn't rename anything because it doesn't exist. But we're going to try to rename our November 2023 French class roster. If I did this correct, should be good. Okay, so we're currently renaming it. What would you like to rename it to? We're going to go ahead and call it December 2023 Spanish class. Okay, so now if we go ahead and view our rosters by knowing number 1, we should see Spanish class, and there it is. So let's go ahead and go back. We can delete rosters as well, so we're going to do option number 3. Okay. That this is once it's deleted, it's gone. You can't retrieve this data. Right now, it's okay because it's in development, but I put a little warning here for people. So all you have to do is enter the name and then confirm it by entering the command delete, or just entering delete again. So we're going to delete one of these I don't care about, my new roster. Okay, so there's nothing else you have to do here except for type the word delete. So if you type in anything else, it won't work, right? Just to prevent people from making mistakes. So we're going to go ahead and go back. I'm going to go ahead and type my new roster again, and then we're going to do delete. It's gone. Okay, so now if we view one more time, it's gone. Poof. So yeah, so that's that tab. So you go back to the main menu. So that was manage rosters. We created one. We've managed some rosters. Now we can add a student to the database. So there's two different databases. There's the roster database, which is your classrooms and whatnot, and a student database. I separate this because I feel like somebody can have hundreds of students, and it would have been too many different types of tables in one database. So I just said, you know, let's separate them. If anybody has any other developer out there has a better idea about doing that, let me know. I'm open to suggestive suggestions, I guess. Okay, so number 3, add a student. So this is what I've been working on recently. It still needs a lot of work, but what would you like to do? Right now, the only option here that works is 1 and 4. And 1 is still in development, very much so. So if you add a new student by clicking 1, it starts as kind of like a checklist. Boom, boom, boom. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Actually, there's more than that. I need to fix the numbers. But please enter the first name. So we're going to go ahead and enter Marshall. Is that correct? Yes. So this is like a teacher or an instructor saying, all right, the school year or this course is about to start, or the semester, whatever. Let me go ahead and add students to the database. In the database, you can keep them in there forever. There can be alumni in that database still. And you can pick and pull. I mean, it needs more thought to it, but that's kind of how it's working in my brain right now. You can do a last name. Now I still need to fix this. This is bugged out today, but something in the code I did wrong. But let's go with the last name. I don't remember what I did for the first name. I think I did my name, so let's go with my last name, Burns. So it asks you, is that correct? Yes. All right. So you can see here that this should be Marshall Burns. It should say the last name, but there's something in the code that's messed up. Would you like to assign an ID? So I figure people, there's different. How can I explain this? Throughout my academic career, from a kid to a little bit of college, coding boot camp or whatever, different institutions use different types of IDs. Some use the last 4 of the social. Some use the first letter, first name, full last name, and then a couple of numbers, whatever. So I figure I give people a choice to make their own. Maybe whoever uses this one day their institution might have a certain protocol that they follow, or you can generate one yourself, or not have it at all. Perfectly fine. You don't have to have IDs. So we're going to go ahead and say yes. And I'm making it so that way the user, the teacher, the instructor, whomever can enter one themselves, or the program will be able to generate one for you. I have not worked on that functionality of it yet. That's coming up soon. But we're going to go ahead and do number 2 to enter your own. Okay, no more than 15 characters, no less than 2. So if you do 1 character, it should say too short. Try again. And if you do too many characters, it should say too long. Try again. You can't go forward. There's no way you can break that. So we're going to go ahead and use MB, and then today's, what's 2023? 2023. Okay, that's my ID number. Go ahead and click yes, adding student to database. Okay, student added successfully. All right, so now to double check that is there, the view students button, the functionality is not working yet. I just worked on the added as the first part here. So what we'll do is we'll check in our file structure, students.cli, and then we'll go see our student database is there, and there's Marshall and MB 2023. So we are adding students. The next step would be to first off fix some bugs here and there, but then take that student and say, okay, Marshall is in what class? Put him in that class, and then track that progress throughout the whole program, basically. So that's the next thing. So that's where we're at with it. A lot of work to do, but I'm almost at a point where I'm ready to give it to people and test it out. Once I add in a few more things, such as just um, data for the student, like attendance and adding in grades. Yeah, it'll be good. Sorry, I got tinnitus and I just started hearing my ears ringing. um, yeah, so that's the next step. I think maybe before the end of the year, I'll have it ready to be put in the hands of some folks to test it out. I know this is a long video for such a small program, but I figure why not? I haven't posted one in like a devlog in a while. So that's it. Thank you.